What's up, everybody? This is Rice Patty Daddy here. I have a complete review video of the Mender, one of the two healing bots, the other being the Wailing. So the Mender, right off the bat, if you were to buy it, it's going to cost you $100, which gives you 10,000 components. Otherwise, you can get it through the battle rewards or from the keys and then rolling in the black market. I just saw recently an offer for the Wailing for 75 bucks for 10,000 components. So I'm going to assume that they probably will be offering some deals on the Wailing pretty soon. Other than that, the ability is basically, it's one of the healing bots, and it can heal itself as well as others. And at the same time, its ability, while it's in that healing ability, it is also damage resistant. Its cooldown period from that is 15 seconds, and it will be active for 7, which it says on its little toggle while you're in the game. However, while you're actually playing the bot, there's a countdown timer, and after you press its ability, it shows 3 seconds. Now, I think that may be corresponding to that it gives 3 pulses of health healing. So do the math. I'm not sure if there's discrepancy, but just know that your countdown timer will show 3 seconds for the amount of time that you'll be able to heal yourself and others around you. And when you're healing, notice that circle diameter that's yellow right now. When you actually press it, it's going to turn green. And the person by you, as you can see here, will have that little green neon kind of hula hoop going around them up and down, showing you that you're healing them. One key aspect to keep in mind is that as you are upgrading the bot, you are also upgrading the amount that you are able to heal. So you don't just start off with a maximum amount of healing power. You have to upgrade that, and you're able to increase the amount that you do upgrade as you increase in levels. As far as the upgrading costs, I tried to show you just right before this clip of a game started. I upgraded this Mender to an MK111. Now, upgrading costs, since it's post-update, it's going to be similar to the same silver and gold costs that the Bulwark costs. And if you want a complete layout of how much silver and gold it costs and how much durability increase you get out of that, you can kind of get an idea out of an Excel spreadsheet that I put on my Facebook site. On the Mender that I have, I put a Scourge MK212 on, as well as those 2 sparks that you can see. And one spark is an MK211 and the other is an MK112. I would like to tell you that those are boosted, so I'll do another video on the boosters, but just know that you can increase your attacks 5 to 10%, as well as 2% to the team. Defense can be increased for yourself at 10%, as well as 2% for the team. So those are the boosters, but we won't get too much into that. The suggested setups, according to the information toggle in the game on the Mender, is Terran Magnum, Orkan Pinata, as well as the Vortex Aphid. So talking about the Mender in this particular map that we have here, Yamantau being King of the Hill, I went ahead and started this bot off first. And this video, I try to give you as many maps and as many predicaments as possible to show you how it plays in the game, and it's kind of ever-evolving dynamics. So I actually only use the Scourge Pinata setup through all these videos. I think just because I was more comfortable with that being a little farther away than up close. Being at an MK111, his durability really is only around 130,000 with a 10% boost. So you got to be careful how close you are, especially your role being support and trying to heal others. So as far as a Terran Magnum, Orkan Pinata, Vortex Aphid, I feel like the Scourge Spark setup does that at that range, if not even more powerful. Plus, I can start firing at a distance of 600. So as far as gameplay dynamics go, you just saw him in Canyon, and now he's in Yamantau. Pretty much two large open maps. With any of your gameplay dynamics and strategy, you want to be behind cover. But as far as a little addition to the Mender goes, is you can also kind of hide behind your teammates, such as that Big Fury in Canyon. He was behind a Lancelot with an Ansel. And then while you're behind him, you're also close to him. So if they get damaged while you're backing them up at 600, you can also heal them when that ability becomes available after the cooldown period. So in Yamantau, the reason why I threw him out first is because with KOTH, the King of the Hill, first beacon is key, and usually there's always a huge old little fight for the first beacon, and healing your teammates while there's a bunch of action going on kind of gives your team a little extra advantage. So here we are in Shenzhen. I started him off as first bot as well, and with Shenzhen I would recommend like him as like a first or second bot, whether it's Dom or BR. Leave some brawling bots for at the end if you really have to start saving some beacons and getting on some action. But notice that I'm trying to move from teammate to teammate and look around for who needs healing. And what's great is you can back your teammate up at the same time while you're healing them, and then move on to your next teammate during your cooldown period while moving from cover to cover. I originally did this video in double speed, and after I did the whole thing, I went back and re-edited everything and put it in normal speed. So that's why this video is going to be pretty lengthy. And the reason why I did that was because at double speed with the Mender, I felt like I was looking around not only for where all the enemies are, but where all my team was at the same time. So you're looking around twice as much, and at double speed, I made myself nauseous and dizzy just from watching the video. So that's why I went back, did a total revision, because I didn't want any of the viewers to be getting nauseous or vomiting from just watching one of my videos. So that's why it's in normal speed and a bit on the lengthier side, but I'm hoping being on the lengthier side will not only prevent you from getting nauseous from watching the video, but give you a better idea of its actual speed during the game and how it can move about, and as right here, move around obstacles and hopefully get away, if not, like I did, just die. So this is Dreadnought. I would really recommend, I've tried starting the Mender off as first, second, and third bot, and he does just fine. So if I were to choose between any of those, I'd probably choose him as dropping him as the second bot, only because Dreadnought is really about, like any map, but map control. So having a first bot that can throw down in the beginning is definitely key. And then if you lose that first bot really quick, and hopefully the rest of your team still has their first bot, when you drop the second bot, you can come up behind them and hopefully heal them before they die. In this video, as far as the Dreadnought is concerned, we're getting to it, but I try to show, instead of healing individually, to heal a group. And that makes it really, really efficient. Now, not all the time is your squad or playing random solo going to be in a nice little group like this, and it takes communication, which we'll kind of speak a little bit more about later. But notice that we're healing multiple players at the same time, and what I started developing is kind of starting to run away at that 3rd second since I have that circle. So they're just being healed, and as it ends, they're just outside of the circle. And gives me kind of more of efficient movement to get to the next player on time to heal him when that ability comes up after the cooldown period. So notice here we are at 3 seconds, I'm almost dead, and just in time to press that ability and start healing me and the player that I was by, and another player that came for support and some healing action too at the same time. So there's some kind of movement dynamics that you may want to incorporate in your gameplay that may work for you. If you find something else that works for you, please let me know, message me, or post it on one of the comments in the YouTube site. This next video is Springfield. We actually have 3 videos, and I want to give you kind of a view from different aspects of Springfield, coming from different sides and different modes of the game. So this is King of the Hill. I dropped the Mender off as the first bot to try to go along with that strategy that I was telling you about in the beginning, as far as healing those teammates that are already there at the first beacon. Now, coming from this side of the map, depending on the players you go up against and how aggressive they are, whether they're going to be rushing you hard or not, is definitely going to have an effect on how you play the Mender. But as you can tell, I'm just getting hit up. I mean, they're gunning for me, that's for sure. So getting up to that first beacon, even though it's already been taken, it's pretty much already done, you'll notice that just that open area, since the Mender really doesn't have huge durability, he's so susceptible to the shock train shots. Right there you saw, I mean, more than half of his energy being taken off. So this guy is just, he's fragile. He's this little fragile little grasshopper that you see there. So this is coming from the other side, and I actually play a different strategy. I decided not to go straight for the beacon. I decided to kind of hang out on a flanking side around cover where I can still provide some support to the players. But the main goal of this strategy is kind of stay alive and keep as much of my health as possible while still providing support. Because right there, if you notice that I was by the other players that were by the beacon, I probably would have died too. So I start using this strategy of finding the players that are now damaged, and as I find that the coast is clear, I'll start making my way towards them. So we're able to retain the beacon, partly, I would like to say it was all because of me, but no, definitely not. So partly because I had that flanking position that I retained using a different strategy. And now, one of my players is just totally messed up. I mean, he's probably got 10% of his booty left. So I'm going to go over there, and I am going to go ahead and I'm going to heal him up. Now, this is where the communication starts coming in that I want to talk to you about. So if you were playing, let's start off with squad, and you are on Discord or some type of communication channel, we're able to talk to each other. It's very key. It's such a useful tool, because then you can tell that player to say, hey, I noticed that you're hurt. I am behind you, but I am like 500 meters away, 1,000 meters away. I need you to go to this location, slow down, or stop. That way you don't have to keep on running towards them. So how that differs from, say, a squad who doesn't have that communication, or if you're even just playing random solo, it makes it pretty difficult, because right here, we are not on comms, and I'm trying to heal that guy in the back that only has like about 1% energy left. And I would tell him, hey, stand covered, don't expose yourself. But that didn't happen, and as you can tell, he died, where I might have just been able to save him and give him about half energy with that healing ability. So playing the Mender on random solo and healing as many people as you can might be a little difficult. However, do know that when you are healing, you're not just going to be a bot that's healing and isn't able to get in on the action, because the amount of damage that you heal on your players goes towards your cumulative damage at the end. So you are kind of in the game for gaining a good amount of silver, but one, by doing damage to the opponents, and then secondly, by healing damage on your own team. So notice here, that's where the strength of the spark and the scourge comes in. Just super powerful. I mean, just electrifying them and be melting that booty away. But right there's a good example of getting shocked. I mean, I probably have half a booty cheek left after that one. So as much as you can, like any bot that you use, avoid those shocks. But if you have to and you got that Scourge Spark, get in close and get rid of that Spectre Shock train as quick as possible. Another thing to note is that you do have that mending ability to mend yourself. And then go ahead and press it right before you get into action so you are not susceptible to damage. And you'll be healing yourself at the same time. So this is the same map, but a different mode. This is actually Beacon Rush. So I go ahead and use the Mender as the last bot. Drop him in, and then throw him into action. I wanted to show you kind of his ability just to get thrown in there and start brawling, rather than just always moving from teammate to teammate and supporting. So here, basically, he didn't do too much brawling, but he could have gotten in on the action, but good for cleaning up too. And then this is kind of give you an idea. You can notice just past. I wanted to give you an idea of the rate of health healing. Just watching the player's health bar go up. And notice that you see that gray area. So you can't heal your teammates' health all the way back to 100%. It's capped in a percentage based on the damage that was done to him and how much health, how much healing you can do. So you can only do about a percentage. I mean, it'd be awesome if you could get 100%, but hey, you know what? Take what you can get. And that player would have died if he wasn't healed just by, he would have died from those Hydras, or whatever those were kind of in the background there. So you can save some players at the same time. So this is coming up as the last map. This is Carrier, and this kind of give you an idea, more of a smaller map, and moving around obstacles, give you kind of the same aspect as it would be if it were in Power Plant or Moon, is that you're going to be in much closer quarters. You're not going to have that openness to be able to kind of fire from 600 meters with shock train, not the shock train, the Scourge and Spark. So we got King of the Hill again. Dropped it first bot. And notice that as I'm coming up, I'm just going to start pressing heal, ensuring that I'm within that circle diameter of a teammate. So a couple of those players might have actually died had I not had that healing ability going on at the same time coming up. And now, helping my other buddy survive at the same time as well. Keep in mind what we talked about those shocks though. One, if I got shocked, could have done a ricochet and just killed my buddy right there. So. At least with Carrier, what I found is probably a better positioning is towards the sub deck. Off the off that first level. And the reason why is because people know you're healing. They're going to start targeting you with Hydras, Tulumbas, splash damage, whatnot. It's a little bit safer area, kind of in the subdecks where you have the ceiling cover or some type of little bridge cover. So as you can tell, if this was on double speed, I would have been making myself dizzy right here, because you're looking back and forth, and on the smaller map, it's almost, you're looking around 360 degrees, just constantly watching out for who's going to shoot you and where your teammates are. So again, the subdecks are probably the better areas to stay. And then if you get in some action, don't forget that you can heal yourself while being impenetrable to their damage. And then if you have those scored sparks, man, get in nice and close and then just brawl. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, please comment. And then follow me on my Facebook. I put extra stuff up there as well. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon.